All right, let's check it out. So, this is a quick video already. Bit of a random one, really, but something that I probably spoke about before. Don't know, maybe not. But basically, it's the rule that no single men are allowed to go in bars and pubs. No, bars and clubs. Okay, which I find totally bizarre. Yeah. Now, I don't really the club thing. I ain't asked. I'm too old for that. But bars, and even some pubs, kind of thing. They have this policy where, and what I've noticed as well, it's an up north thing. When I say up north, I'm talking like Manchester, Liverpool, yeah. And just a little bit of just a very quick search on Google, you'll see a lot of stuff about that regarding Manchester, or sometimes Liverpool as well. So I wasn't too sure if it was just like if it was just like an eyesight kind of thing, but it's definitely a thing up north. I haven't really encountered that down south or south, yeah. And the reason is, all right, is, well, this is what the doorman tell you, but it's not even just like an excuse. It's actually, there's actually a thing about it, like some sort of like kind of policy or whatever it is anyway, in like in Liverpool, Manchester, that's what the case is. You know what I mean? But yeah, their excuse, well, that's what I call it. Their excuses are, it's because single men they've been known to pickpocket, they've been known to spike drinks. What's the other one now? Oh yeah, they try to say like, if you buy yourself and something happens to you, there's no one to help you, or blah blah blah. So yeah, that's like their main reasons. So the main reasons are single men spiking drinks, and if something happens to you, there's no one to help you, basically, right? Now, I think this is a load of bullshit. Like, what the fuck is that about? Like, if you can't go out by yourself because if something happens, there's no one to help you, or blah blah blah. What the fuck is it? What the fuck is this? Last time I checked, I'm a grown adult. Yeah, I'm a grown adult. I'm not a juvenile that needs parental control. Yeah. There's none of that. So it's quite discriminatory. It's quite discriminatory. I can't say the word. But that's discrimination. Plain and simple. I don't care how they want to dress it up. I don't care, whatever little reasons or excuses, that they'll try anything to dress it up that way. Yeah. So just because there's a few isolated incidents of weirdo single guys going and spiking drinks, what does that mean? Does that mean that's the norm? No, it don't. Yeah. But like I said, I don't know what it is up here, up north, the northwest. Don't know. So it's all entirely a little bit weird, and very there's quite a bit of discrimination with that as well. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a grown man. If I want to go into town, yeah, and have a drink, sit at a bar, yeah, chill out, listen to whatever, some nice little tunes, right? I should be able to fucking do that because I'm a grown ass man who's responsible for myself, yeah. But you can't do that. You know what I mean? And it's quite, yeah, it really is bizarre, and it just pissed me off because someone like me now, yeah, and I'm not the only one. There's quite a few lone rangers, so to speak, yeah. People you like to just go out about by themselves, mind their business, and have a good night, yeah. Right. So being a lone ranger, for some people, they've got no choice, and for some people, it is a choice. Like for me, for majority of my adult life, it has been a choice if I want to be a lone ranger and go about my business by myself, because I can fucking do that. I don't need to have friends or rely on friends to go and do what the fuck I want to do. I don't. Yeah. So even though at the time I did have friends to do that as well, but now, yeah, because there's some people who don't have friends. Yeah. For whatever reason, it could be the fact that they've moved up, they've moved around, they've moved to a different area. Maybe for job, I was saying there could be the fact they've moved to a different area, different city for job reasons or whatever else. Or they might just not have no friends, or have limited friends, you know. For my case now, right? So for me now, because my best friends one's moved one's moved abroad a few years ago, and my other best friend is now deceased. Yeah. Right. So now I'm in a situation where I've got no choice to be a lone ranger. Yeah. And at my age, you don't really meet new friends. Also, luckily I was always kind of doing that from a while ago. Yeah, I've always kind of gone out with myself anyway from time. Yeah. So for me, it's no, like, it doesn't really faze me. I'm not asked. I'm not asked about it, because when I go out and about, right, I can mingle with people. Right. People always come talk to me and that. Yeah. I talk to them. Like, it's a good time. Majority of the time I have a good time when I go by myself. Right. Yeah. So this is what I'm trying to say. It's stopping a lot of different kind of people from having the chance to unwind, enjoy themselves, and potentially meeting other people. Yeah. Which could lead to friendship with some people. Right. It's stopping all of that. Yeah. It's stopping all of it because of their bullshit rules up here. You know what I mean? I just find it like, it's really like, to me it's really childish, because the way they're going on is like everybody who goes out, as long as there's two of them at least, that they never get into no drama, they never spike drinks, they never go try to rape people, they don't do this, they don't do that. That's basically what they're trying to say. Yeah. When actually it's the opposite. Right? It's the opposite. I've worked on the door for years. I know, right? I know what I see. I know what it's about. Right? When I used to see single men in certain places to work in, they never caused no issue. Very, very, very rarely. Very rare. I can't really remember. Maybe the odd time in about, I'm trying to think how many years now. Of about bouncing for about 6-7 years, maybe 8. So between about 7 to 8 years, I've probably only seen about one situation where the single guy was a bit too drunk, started acting a fool in there. We had to get him out. Yeah. But for the most part, it's always people who in groups. Yeah. Men and women in groups. They're the ones who cause all this shit. Right. So I just find it bizarre. I find it discriminating. And yeah, it's a bit childish. Like, well, how can a grown man need to be basically accompanied by somebody else because something might happen? But you can go into a pub by yourself, right? Which isn't much different than some bars. Obviously, I'm not going to compare it to a club, because we all know that's completely different as well, right? But there's some good pubs out there, some decent pubs. What could almost be similar to a bar, right? But for some reason, you're free to roam free in a pub by yourself, but you can't do that in a bar. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's ridiculous. It's some bullshit. And there'll be some people be like, oh well, why don't you just go somewhere else then? Well, the fact of the matter is, there isn't really anywhere else to really go, because the majority of the places have that fucking rule. You know what I mean? So, and people are like, oh, why don't you just go to a pub then? Well, maybe I don't want to go to a fucking pub. How about that? Yeah? Why should I be resigned and other people be resigned just to go to a pub just because they've got some BS rule about no single men? So, that's all I've got to say about it anyway. It's absolutely and utterly, totally ridiculous. Alright? And with that, I'm out.